On the blog, I don't explain a lot about the photo itself. This is a picture of a rainbow, and it's the Low Library here on campus. That's why I called it Low Rainbow, because it's a rainbow over the Low Library. And I took it in early August, and I was biking to work, and as I got maybe 2 blocks from my house, I saw this huge rainbow in the sky, and I stopped what I was doing. I called my wife, and I said, grab the boys, get in the car, and go down to the Hobby Lobby parking lot and check out this rainbow. It's so cool. And I knew I had my camera with me, and so I wanted to get a good picture of this rainbow, but I didn't quite know how to do it, because how do you take a picture of a rainbow with a 50mm lens? You can't. You just get a little slice or sliver of the rainbow, and you don't get to see the whole thing. And that's kind of the bummer part about a 50mm lens. On a crop sensor camera, it becomes a 75mm lens. You get this tiny little slice of view. Whereas on an iPhone, if you go to the blog, I don't know if you're listening to this on the podcast or if you're actually on the blog, but if you scroll down on the blog, you'll see a picture that I took maybe 30 seconds after this one. And it's this huge panoramic view of the rainbow, the same rainbow, same rainbow, except it's just a little ways on campus, a little ways down the sidewalk. And you get a sense of how much more you can fit in the lens of an iPhone camera versus a 50mm on a crop sensor camera. It's not quite a fair comparison because the other one it's a panoramic shot, but even so, the point remains you can put a ton more stuff in an iPhone camera or any mobile phone camera. And yet there's something kind of cool, kind of magical about a 50mm lens. It focuses you to be more intentional in what you're looking at. So I could just drive down the road or bike down the road, see a rainbow, stop, and pull out my phone and get a picture of the rainbow. But that doesn't really, it sort of cheapens it almost. And by using the lens, the 50mm lens, on my DSLR, it forced me to be more creative in how I approach this picture. As I was biking to work, I kept on looking for photographic opportunities, and I knew I wanted to frame the rainbow with something else in there to give a sense of what else was going on, but nothing quite worked. And I would bike past there's a hotel, there's a grocery store, there's some signs and other things, and nothing quite worked. And I thought, on the way, I thought, man, if I can get to campus and that rainbow is still there, I'm going to see what I can do with the Low Library and framing it that way. And I ended up with this picture, which I really like because it's such a more concentrated view of this thing. It doesn't show the full rainbow. But you know what? We've all seen pictures of full rainbows. And in a sense, they're not that special anymore because you just Google a picture of a rainbow and you can see the full rainbow. There's like millions of pictures of a full rainbow arcing across the sky. But this particular one here is more, I don't know, personal. It's more focused. It's 3 things: library, tree, rainbow. And I guess you could say sky as well. And I think that makes the overall composition more interesting to look at and more intentional. The bottom one, when I look at it and I go, oh, wow, a rainbow. And then I move on. But this top one, it almost makes me think a little more about what else is going on here. It puts me in the context of this building and this tree, and it just feels more personal. Maybe I'm waxing philosophical where all of this is just made up. It's in my mind. It doesn't really exist. And maybe the bottom photo is actually better. I don't know. But I'm happy with how this turned out, and I'm happy with the creative process that this 50mm lens has continually forced me to go through in order to get the pictures I want. So that's probably way too much about a rainbow and a building, but hope you like it anyway.